Okay, let's go. I'm here. I need a new laptop. I tried to get off cheap and not buy the new laptop a couple of weeks ago, and now the good laptop's giving me problems. I think I need to replace the fans on that one. So we're on the other laptop, which is the cross our fingers laptop, because that's the one that's got the Ethernet port ripped out. So yeah, I think I'll be buying myself a Christmas present today. I tried to get out of not having to buy a new one, but there's a guy down the road I can take to get the other ones repaired. But these laptops have been beat to shit the last five years. Yeah. So I think it's time. It would make sense. It would make sense that with what's going on with the Panthers this year, that both laptops would end up on IR. There's just no way around it at this point. It just totally makes sense. Anyway, that's why I'm 12:05 instead of 12:03. All right, how we doing? Hey, Simon. How we doing, bud? Yeah, we're starting. Well, we got Luosterainen back. Maybe Kachuk for the Winter Classic. I think that's the hope. Yeah, of course, the Leafs won last night. That's all right. It's so tight, Trent, at this point. It's just ridiculous. That's right. I'm not on my good laptop, so all my search things are not here. Everything we've been talking about is not on this laptop. Now you got the Wings in first place. Which, by the way, the Wings are in first place with a -7 goal differential. I mean, madness, right? So where are we? We're 30 points. So we're 4 points out of second. We're 4 points out of second with a game in hand on the Lightning. The Bruins, we got 2 games in hand. So honestly, win our games in hand and we're in second place. Yeah, they still get shut out. Who was back in last night? Yeah, Hildeby. Who was back in for Tampa last night? Vincent. I never got the new laptop. So, Karen bought me the first one in 2019. This one. This is the one that Karen bought me in 2019. And then it didn't have all the memory and power and stuff that I needed. So I got the second one myself in 2020 or maybe 21 and then upgraded this one. And so this one needs the whole port system. Both sides are just all cracked and everything from when Kyle accidentally tripped over the cord. It's a miracle this laptop lasted as long as it did after that. And so the good one, which is still the good one, but I need to have a good backup, and I don't have a lot. This one I don't have a lot of confidence in. So the good one, I think I got to replace the fans or get it cleaned out or whatever. So we'll see. I didn't really want to have to buy a second one or a third one. But the problem is I'm carrying them around all over the place. This, they get wear and tear. Where's Vasilevsky? I think Vasilevsky's on IR, right? I think Hildeby can be the Leafs guy. Hey, David. God dang it. We looked at this all yesterday, and I don't have it. What is he? He's just a kid, right? Yeah, he's 24 years old. Last year, he started 6 games for them, had a 3.33 and 8.78. Wasn't great. How's his AHL? How has his AHL stuff been? The Marlies, decent numbers for the Marlies. In 23-24, he started 41 games, had a 2.41 and a 9.13. That's when they brought him up to the NHL. He didn't do so well. Then last year for the Marlies, he started 30 games, had a 2.55 and a 9.08. Good enough. And then they brought him up to the NHL this year, and he's done pretty good in 5 starts. He's 2-2-2. They must have brought him in at some point to another game. He's played in 9 games, but started only 5. I mean, he's been brought in 4 times. You don't see that off. You don't see that a lot. He's played in 9 games, but only started 5. I mean, he's 24, so they may feel like Woll and Hildeby at some point is the future there. If either one of Woll or Stolarz could ever stay healthy, right? Mr. Vince, portability aside, maybe eventually get a PC. Well, that's how it all started. I have my old PC downstairs. Cost me an arm and I have 2 high-powered PCs downstairs, but those are my listing computers. And they're Windows 10. So up until last season, I did the editing. All the editing was done on the PC, but then all the editing software now doesn't work with Windows 10, or at least the software I was using. I didn't even know that until the first game of the year. So I think that's when Karen rushed out and got me the laptop, because I was blowing a gasket like right at the beginning of the season or something, that all of a sudden my PC that I had edited all the other videos on, my power director didn't work with it any longer. So but those computers are downstairs. They're dinosaurs at this point. Now maybe I'd get a PC for in here to have this just stay. You know what I mean? That's the thing. This is upstairs. The streaming with the games is downstairs. This is more comfortable in here for me than sitting on that couch downstairs. Yeah, Thomas, Logan Cooley of the Mammoth is out for the game. Yeah. Hey, JC. Got to finish the Christmas Village. It takes about 3 days. Holy moly. What are my surprises for the Eastern Conference so far? Simon, I don't think anybody would have thought Wings would be in first place right now. I don't think anybody would have thought the Penguins would be in a playoff spot, but it's just absurd. I mean, the Jackets are in last place. They got 32 points. They're in last place. They're 2 points out of a playoff spot. I mean, quite literally the entire conference. You can't even count out Buffalo at this point. I don't think Buffalo's going to make the playoffs, but they're still only 8 points out. And that's the worst team. So, yeah, the Wings are a surprise. What are they, 1-2 in a row? That's all it takes these days in the Eastern Conference, is winning a couple games in a row and you're in first place. Which one do I think is going to cool off, Trent? I don't know that I trust Detroit. Detroit's not going to win the division. They've got a -7 goal differential. They're in first place. I think Tampa's going to win the division. Now, I don't know how much trust I put in the Bruins, because last year on this date, they had 33 points and they were in third place. Now they got 34 points and they're in third place. So no trust in Boston there. And over in the Metro, I mean, the Devils have lost 5 straight. I think they'll move up. I don't think the Penguins can keep that pace the whole year unless Jari just completely plays besides himself. Hungry. Nick Cousins is still the most hated player in the league. Mr. Vince, power director. So when it stopped working with Windows 10, I was like, I'm not going to just learn a whole new system. That's what I know. So now I've got it on both laptops. But as long as, as long as this one, as long as this laptop behaves reasonably well, he says it started so late, still have to carve out and paint the foam. As soon as it came back. Did you see that? Did you see that? Son of a bitch. As soon as I said, as this laptop behaves, it glitched. How is the most joyful time of the year? The most stressful? Once you're old like me and your kids are grown and all of that's over, the stress goes away. Vincent says, so you have an artificial arm now? My God, with current prices for RAM, don't drink much. Kidney can be an option. You have to make it bigger every year, JC. Well, women are hard to satisfy. Hey, Jameson, how you doing, bud? Oh, Schmidt and Vanchek get their rings tomorrow. Very cool. That's cool. I appreciate you, Watch. I see you. Would I be surprised if the Panthers finished first or second? I don't think we're going to win the division, but it wouldn't shock me to see Panthers finish in second place. Yeah, I mean, I don't trust the Wings to continue. And when you look at the Bruins, we're 4 points out with 2 games in hand. It wouldn't surprise me to finish in second place. Hey, Olechka, she says, a Montreal-known sportscast asked this morning if the Habs are healthy, are they best team in the East. That's a bit of a stretch. They've got a ways to go to prove that, especially at goalie. They've got some goalie issues there. Inconsistent, which is what young teams do. I wouldn't knock Florida off the list just yet in terms of best team in the conference until we're healthy and somebody beats us. The delusion is astounding. It's a bit much, right? It's a bit much. They've got a -7 goal differential too. That's rich. Olechka, that's brave. That's brave. Asking if a team with a -7 goal differential is the best in the conference. Communist, why are all the teams winning at the same time? It's just that kind of year for us. You know what I mean? You've been using Da Vinci. Yeah, I know there's some good editors out there, but once I've learned, I've been using Power Director since the second season of the channel, I think, if not the third. No, second. Yeah, I've been using Power Director since the second year of the channel. That's what I'm using. You know what I mean? I do not have the brain power to even think about. I have a hard enough time keeping up with the little changes of Power Director. They moved this, they moved that, they changed how you do the subtitles and made it stupid. For a moment, you thought a robot was possessing me, so I must have freeze framed when that happened. Yeah. Vincent says, have I heard the Oilers almost got Jari, but Pittsburgh refused to retain at all? Ain't that something? So they played it cheap? Wait a minute. How much is Jari's contract? He's got a cap hit of $5.3 million. Those cheap bastards. Well, then they don't deserve to win a cup. If you're too cheap to pay your goalie half of the $10 million that Bob gets. Damn. You use GIMP? Yeah, I use Photo Escape. Oh, what the hell is this? Oh, look at this. This shouldn't even be running over here. That might be why I was glitching. Yeah, it's funny, Hungry, because you say idiot proof, And right before I read that, I was going to say I can't figure Canva out. So I don't think it's idiot proof. Honestly, I don't. It must not be idiot proof because I've tried, and I actually know a couple other people that have tried, and they just like, what? Can't figure it out. Lechka says the Habs are inconsistent, small, and soft, too overhyped. JC says it's my vice. Just sent an email with last year's. All right, yeah, I'll take a peek. Oh, you thought Leaf fans were obnoxious. Wait to see Habs fans with a decent team. Windows Movie Maker. Wow. Hey, Miami Sports. So that's the rumor. Couple people asked us to do the Miami Hurricanes game on Saturday. So we might do it. I say might, right? I got to see how Kyle's going to feel about that. I know we have a Panther game at 8, so we should have time to do it. If he doesn't want to do it, maybe I'll hang out here. But I just don't anybody blame me. Okay? The Marlins were doing good. Rosado begged us to stream Marlins games. We streamed a game, and they went on like 11 out of 12 game losing streak and blew their playoff spot, starting with the game that we streamed. So if we stream the Hurricanes, don't blame me. Surprise Western team, Simon. Obviously the Ducks. I don't think I figured the Ducks would be hanging on as well as they have so far. I see all there's right in the world that the Preds are in last place. That seems right. And, the Mammoth and especially the Blackhawks have hung in, but they look, they faded a little bit here these last 10 games. Hungry, just Photoscape. Just Photoscape is all I use. It's not fancy. If you know what I mean. If there's anything that I want to create image-wise, I just go to Gemini, Google Gemini image generator. That's been pretty good for me for the other channels. But for this channel, the only thumbnails that do good on this channel are the ones in the recap room with Kermit. It doesn't matter the subject. I just think that's what people know. So like if I do a skit video and I just use it up here, the thumbnail is different. But if any of the videos, if I just do a regular talk video and sit here, I could put out the same video, but if the thumbnail was with me with Kermit, it does better by a lot. Hungry says, I can't think of an image editor that's simpler than Canva. Well, it just depends on what you want to do to it. You know what I mean? Yeah, the Canes game will be huge. Yeah. Lechka says the Habs will never have a decent team. As soon as the young guys grow older and wiser, they'll go play somewhere nicer where they can earn more money and not get hounded by crazy media and fans. We'll see. I mean, they've got a decent team, but putting it all together, it's all going to depend on Barkov. Like I keep saying, I feel like the Panthers healthy. If Barkov is healthy, I still feel like we should win the conference. I didn't say will. I said should. Do I think the Ducks can win around in the playoffs? Depends on who they play. Like right now, they play the Oilers. Ouch, right? Is that right? Yeah. I mean, not that the season would end right now, but right now their matchup would be the Oilers, and that's going to be tough. Vincent says, yep, Picard and Skinner hugged like it was the last time, assuming Picard was going to be gone, but still stuck there. Oilers don't want to move players to clear cap space. Damn. And now look, Pittsburgh's in a good spot, right? Hungry says, to be fair, it's not your fault the Marlins went on that run. Their manager made some seriously shitty decisions that cost the team a bunch of those games. I mean, that can be true. It just so happened to be that's the game we picked. Tommy says, how are we only 2 points behind the Leafs after their big wins? It's because the whole Atlantic division is just stupid. At this, look, the Senators are in next to last place, but they're only 5 points out of first with 2 games in hand. Like, it's just stupid. And nobody's tearing it up in their last 10 games. The Leafs are the best team in the division in the last 10 games, but previous to that, they were the worst. And none of the teams in the Atlantic are so bad that they're going to completely crater and fall apart. And none of them are good enough with the Panthers injuries and the Lightning's injuries to just take over the whole damn division either. I think it's going to be this way the whole season. Excuse me. Sorry about the cough. Lechka says, I'm a Montreal hater because they are delusional and live in their own bubble. I have a special place in my heart for people from Montreal because I grew up around a lot of people from Montreal because we lived on the Dade-Broward County line, and 6 months out of the year, spent a lot of time on the beach. You know, you meet a lot of people from Montreal, a lot of French Canadians. I got a kick out of them. Mr. Viz says, also for streaming, if I'm using OBS, I wonder if there's a way to minimize the game footage to an 1/8 size mirrored in the black and white content. Well, I use StreamYard anyway. Forget about football. Football, you could record it, play it backwards and inside out, and the bots will find it. Hockey is a little bit, but no, it's just no way to do that unless I'm going to do that on locals. Mr. Vitt says, coincidence that a Canadian team hasn't won since the Cats became a team? Well, don't forget, when Colorado beat us in 96, that was their first season in Colorado. They had just moved from Quebec. So we kind of, Colorado kind of screwed them out of that. Yeah, exactly, Hunger. I may as well just put it on locals, which that's going to happen here soon enough. My Sports says if the Canes go to the national championship game is at home. Good point. Tommy thinks there'll be a lot of teams getting creamed in the first round this year. It won't be a very competitive start. I mean, who knows how it's going to be. Like, I would suspect, my guess is that it's going to be, when this is all said and done, I honestly feel like it's going to be Lightning, Panthers, Canadians, Sens, Leafs. And Canadians, Sens, Leafs could go any possible way. You could have Leafs making it and Sens not, Canadians making it and Leafs not. Could go any possible way. I expect the Bruins to drop and the Sabres are the Sabres. But I think Tampa will win the division. I think Florida's going to finish in second. And then after that, it just depends on who the matchups are. Like if it's Tampa versus Toronto, that's a completely different matchup than versus Ottawa or versus Montreal. And the same thing for Florida, depending on who finishes. I think Florida would do well against the Leafs, the Sens. The Canadians, though, they could give us an energy problem. But I don't think we'd lose. Yeah, the Pacific is getting pretty tight as well. It's not as crazy, but that's where both wildcard teams are, right? Well, boy, what's with this cough? Mammoth at 31 points. Oilers at 31 points. The Sharks at 31 points. That's the tied for the wild card. Blackhawks at 30. Jets 29. Like, because the Kraken and Sharks have fallen off. Damn, the Kraken have lost 6 straight. Damn. And then the Canucks have just imploded. I don't know what happened to Calgary. It's okay, Olechka. Yeah, Hungry says there's a push now to go back to the 3-2 point format. I don't know. There's pros and cons to the whole thing. You know, I understand not wanting to give out the loser points. I also remember 20 minutes of overtime and it ending up in a tie. That can't happen again. You know what I mean? I would just keep playing 3-on-3 until I would leave the point system the way it is. Excuse me. I'm sorry. Jesus. I would leave the point system the way it is, but just change overtime to 3-on-3 until somebody scores. Just to eliminate the shootout. You know how fun it would be to see these guys all exhausted out there after 10, 12, 15 minutes of 3-on-3 over. You know how much exciting hockey that we could be gifted if they just played 3-on-3 overtime, And in fact, I'll even go one further. Give the team a choice. If you get a power play in overtime, give them a choice of going 4-3 or 3-on-2. Give them a choice. What the hell? Right? Boy, wouldn't that piss off some people? Mike says at the end of the playoffs, only the Panthers will remain three-peat. It's still in play. That's the beautiful thing about it. Mr. Viz says, fun fact, the Super Bowl shuffle was made a day after the Bears lost to the Dolphins. No joke. I did not know that. Tommy says, saw Hooked on Hockey chart today that ranked Bobrovsky the second worst goalie in the league behind Bennington. To me, all I care about is the playoffs. He hasn't been spectacular, but Bob turns, I think at this point we've all seen Bob turns it on, Bob turns it off. And remember, Bobrovsky's played a lot of hockey too. We talk a lot about Bennett and Verhaeghe and all these guys that have played all these minutes and how it affects their game and everything, and how maybe they're, monitoring themselves sometimes during the regular season. Bobrovsky's got to be doing the same thing. At his age, with all the games that he's played, he would never admit it. He's never going to sit there and it's not like he's not focused, but he's definitely going to be more dialed in the important moments and the important games. And we've seen him do it plenty of times. So until Bobrovsky looks bad in an important number of games or in the playoffs, as long as we're still seeing the flashes of Vezina Bob when we need to shut the other team down, I'm completely comfortable with Bobrovsky. I got no worries. I mean, look, eventually, right, 37, 38, 39, eventually there's going to come a point in time where it's like, well, Father Time waits for no man. But I don't think we're here. I don't think we're even close to it, to be honest with you. Lechko says Cole Caulfield, in quotes, Cole Caulfield is better than any forward on the USA roster right now. That's a bit much. The problem is with all the injuries, though, Canada did win, right? Canada did win. So, Hey, Jameson. He says, Jaws, it's hashtag Team Tank time in Vancouver. Trade Hughes and sell off everybody. Hopefully be good again in 4 or 5 years. Seriously hope we lose every game 4-0 like last night in Detroit. Such a shame, too. Huh? Could you keep Hughes at least keep him out of the Atlantic? Can you do that? Vincent says, why would anybody in the high chairs would want to change the point system after the year like this? It's fracking amazing, crazy but amazing. Playing for the third point will drastically change the style. Yeah, I'm happy with the way things are. Trent says Canada's going to wipe the floor with us, unfortunately. I mean, it depends on who comes back. It doesn't look or sound like Matthew Tkachuk is going to play, and it wouldn't surprise me. We haven't heard anything about it, but he's not been involved with any of the things, I don't think. Leshka thinks she doubts it. Well, let's just see what our goalie situation turns out to be too. You know what I mean? I'm gonna have to maybe this weekend I'll do some research and try to get an idea for. You have your voodoo doll ready? Let's go. Oh, we'll see. It should be fun. Like I said in the other stream, I'm curious to see how the channel does during the Olympics because of how differently it was during the Four Nations last year. And at least this year we got good camera. You know what I mean? We're not like in black and white 1950s quality. We've got good camera. So that's another reason why I made the splurge and get the extra laptop, because at least that way I know for sure my equipment is good for the Olympics, because that's all I need. That's all I need is the embarrassment of having 1,700, 2,000 people on a stream like we did for the Four Nations and my equipment failing. You know what I mean? No thanks. No thanks. I'd rather be safe than sorry at this point. So we'll be okay. What games do we have tonight here? Let's see. There's a lot of games. Sharks, Flyers, Lightning, Canadians. Damn it. Nothing good can happen in that game. The Ducks are going to beat the Penguins. That will help. The Devils and the Sens. Go New Jersey. Knights, Islanders, Jackets, Hurricanes, Stars, Jets, Bruins and the Blues, Sabres and Oilers. The Avs and the Preds. I wonder who's going to win that game. So, yeah, come on, New Jersey. Who do we want? Let Tampa win. Let Tampa beat the Canadians. Let Tampa have first place. Let Tampa have first place. Just let them have it. We don't need it. You know, the Preds will win 7-0. How does honestly now, all joking set aside, how does Brunette still have a job? And I don't even say that like it's not animosity, like I'm not bitter, like I want Brunette to be fired. But Brunette, yeah, exactly. But how does he still have a job? Like at this point, like, do the fans not care because Trotz is still there? I guess so. I mean, I can't remember a team that failed their expectations to this level and the coach didn't get fired. I don't even see like rumors and innuendo like Brunette is on the, he's on the hot seat or whatever it is. It's just amazing to me. I can't talk today. I don't know why I got this cough. I haven't talked to anybody all morning, so I don't know how long I had this cough, but as soon as I started talking here, like I'm wheezing and can't catch my breath. I'm going to die on camera. That's okay, though. Just if I die on camera, when Kyle comes in and finds me, you guys just make sure you super chat and help the kid out. All right? Yeah. So anyway, and then tomorrow there's only the 4 games. And we've got the late game at 9. Well, no. The latest game is Kings and Kraken. Tomorrow is just the 4 games, and there's really nothing. Well, the Wings play the Wings play the Flames tomorrow, so I don't think we'll be catching Detroit anytime soon. Yeah, exactly. Hungry content is content. Leshka says, I can't die. I need to witness the three-peat. Well, Fluffy died on the first one. We talked about this. So there's one or two ways this can end, Leshka. Either we could get the Branson to solidify the bottom pair, and then we win the three-peat with Gabranson, Kulikov, and that's what started the channel, and then that's it, right? Or Fluffy died when we win the first one, and then I croak 2 weeks after we win the three-peat. It could go either way. Yeah, here's what it is. Vincent says, I don't get popcorn, so I'll get a steak in your memory. All right. I'll be okay. But I don't know what the hell this cough is. Content is content, right, Hungry? Like if I just face planted right here, what's the over-under? That's the question. Right now, 12:41. If at 12:42 I just face planted right on the desk and we're still live, I don't hit the laptop, I just clunk. How long until somebody notices? If Donna's not watching, if Donna's watching, then all bets are off. But how long until somebody notices? Probably about 1:15, maybe 1:30. Probably by about 1:30, Donna walk back here and wonder, why is he taking so long? I could easily be croaked for at least a half hour to 45 minutes before anybody would know. Hungry thinks 2.5 hours. Well, we're not depending on Kyle to come in here. That's for sure. Because that could be 6, 7, 8 o'clock tonight. Like he'd be looking for me where I want to tell Dad goodbye. And I'm in here, decomposed already. Craig says we don't want to see that. Oh, yeah. We should. What if we faked it? What if I faked my death on a stream and then we waited to see how long it took for one of them to find me? That's probably mean and cruel, huh? What do you want? Huh? I'm old. I'm running out of things to entertain myself with. So here's what it is. We'll be okay. I'm looking over here. I wanted to see something about the Western Conference now that I'm remembering. Oh, yeah. So, no, what was it? Damn it, I don't remember what it was. Oh, so the Canucks, I was looking at the goals allowed. So Canucks have allowed 108, Oilers 102, Blues 104, Preds 100. But then over in the East, the only team that's allowed more than 100 are the Sabres. So there's a lot more sketchiness going on over there. Well, actually, that's not true. That was the point. Yeah, that was the point I was going to make, is that the Wings are also allowed over 100 goals, and they're in first place. They're right almost tied at the bottom of the league for most goals allowed. They're real close. The Canucks are miles ahead of everybody else. But the Wings have allowed 102 goals are in first place. Nothing is the same. And I mean, nothing even matters anymore. It's nothing real. Hungry says, here's a little anecdote. I once took a 26-hour nap living in a house with 5 family members and none of them noticed. So that's 8 in the morning to 10 the next morning. That's wild. That's pretty wild that nobody went looking for you. So Jameson says, what's a successful 4-game road trip for the Panthers? 5 to 8 points. I feel it's important we win tomorrow. Hopefully Tarasov gets to start. Let's look at that. Mammoth, Avs, Stars, and Lightning. Yeah, damn. The Avs and then the Stars. Now I'm going to sneeze. So what I expect is I'm going to sneeze. Hold on, I got to go off camera. Jesus. I'm coughing, I'm sneezing. What the hell is next? Probably going to have a stroke right here. All right, so my vision's all blurry now because of the sneeze. Give me 3 points out of the Mammoth and the Avalanche and 2 points out of the Stars and the Lightning. Yeah, Jameson, 5. Give me 5. I don't feel good about that game, the Lightning game. I know it's not a long road trip. And technically the home game where it's the first game back is against the Kings. But I suppose we'll see what Tampa's injury situation is. But with the Mammoth, Avs, Stars, and Lightning, if we can get 5 of those 8 points, I think I'll be satisfied with it. Craig says, Doggo finds me first. The door is closed, though. The door is closed. Vincent says the Panthers allow like 1 million empty netters. It's going to be over 10 probably. It's at least 5. It's at least 5. Hungry says 6 p.m. Saturday to 8 p.m. Damn. So you slept all night. Okay. Oh, when did you finally get back to sleep? Mike says we'll take all points, huh? Are the Bolts being stupid again? They'll be okay. They don't. Tampa don't take much seriously during the regular season. They had their little win streak. They got themselves into a good spot, after having such a bad start. And now they're like, okay, we're good. Of course, they do have some injuries, right? Like, if you look at the game last night, let's see, Cirelli, Hagel, Diastis, Curtis Douglas. What else? Dominic James. Who are these guys? Jack Finley, Janice Moser, Maxwell Crow. Who the hell are these guys? Where's all the players? There's Yanni Gord, Gergensons, Bergstrom, Paul. Yeah, they got some interesting names in this lineup. There's no Kucherov here. I'm looking at last night's, right? Yeah, there's no Kuch. There's no Point. That's at least 2 guys off and then Jonas Johansson. Poor dude allows 1 goal. Jonas Johansson allows 1 goal on 18 shots and loses the game. Jeez. Vincent wants to know, are we expecting Kachukin against the Kings? I was reading something today. Against the Kings? No. My guess, and again, this is a completely uneducated guess, just a guy guess. I suspect that when we hear Kachuk is back practicing with the team, we're 2 weeks away. That would be my guess. So, like, if we hear this road trip, he's not going to be practicing with the team. So if we get him back practicing around the Kings, then maybe the Winter Classic. I read somewhere this morning, it was an older article from about a week ago, but I think Elliot Friedman alluded to that the Winter Classic was kind of the goal. That was the goal. But if Kachuk's not out there skating with the team and in a full contact practice and all that, until that happens, I think he's at least 2 weeks away. Hey, Adonis. Adonis says, by the way, I've noticed that the perimeter defense has been much better with E2 back. I think that's one of his best traits is getting aggressive in the D zone. Really, really good. Yeah, good eye. In all of these players, you can say this about almost all of our players. That's why we're so hard to beat, because we have so many unique guys they each do their own individual thing, which is why I mentioned this about Greer playing the Kachuk role with Rodriguez and Samoskevich in that last game, where Greer was behind the net, got the puck loose. Samoskevich went in and cleaned up the mess. And as Samo was coming back around and getting the puck to Balinskis at the point, Greer, you couldn't have tell the difference between Greer and Kachuk in that moment. He just went right to the front of the net to screen the goalie. But we've got so many of these guys that they do a very, very specific thing. And it doesn't all the time show up on the stat sheet at all. But especially Lusterina, we saw it against Vegas. And we've seen it. The dude plays a big role on this team. It's not goals. But that was the straw that broke the camel's back. When he went out, we really started looking bad. Donna says also Devine got sent down, which is a good move. Let him grow more and get actual minutes. Yeah, I mean, he's is he the one? Let me see. How old is he? He's still only 22, 5'11", $173. So yeah, he needs another 10 pounds. Because isn't that what Samoskevich is? Like 5'11", $185. Let me see if that's right. What they got Samoskevich listed as? 5'11", $180. I think he weighs more than $180. I weigh 170. There's no way he's only 10 pounds heavier than me. Samo looks like he's $185. Why they'd have him listed at 180 if it's not accurate, but who knows how long how often they upgrade those things or update them. Craig says the cats are Voltron, 5 cats coming together to form an unbeatable giant robot. That's a really good way to put it too. Yeah. We don't have a McDavid, you know what I mean? We don't have Celebrini, Berdar, we don't even have an Ovechkin. Not now Ovechkin, but prime Ovechkin. It's and you've seen it with certain guys out. Bennett can only do so much. Lundell's picked it back up though. Lundell definitely he's slid a little bit there, but these last few games he's looked a lot more like what we need him to look like. Yeah, the fourth line right now has been a huge liability. It's been dicey. Studnicka's got some energy. I got no problem with Studnicka in terms of, but it's all replacement level. You know what I mean? With Greer in the top 9, and so it's not Nosek, Gadjevich, and Greer, right? Everybody that's on that fourth line right now is pretty much replacement level players. I mean, Gregor's okay. They're guys. They're guys. That's really all it is. Vincent says, I demand Vil Manis. How's he doing, by the way? Let's check him out. That's not a name we've putzed around with very much. I cannot talk today. Every time I'm trying to talk to you guys, I feel like I'm going to just start coughing. I haven't noticed this. This just happened. I don't know what's going on. Vilmanis has 13 points in 19 games, 5 goals, 8 assists. I mean, it only tells you so much. The AHL stats aren't super. And he's a +7. I can tell you that. He leads the team in plus minus. So yeah, I'll agree with Vincent here. What he's 6'1", $192. Sure. Maybe he get a chance. Maybe he'll get a chance. He played well in the Calder Cup playoffs last year. He had 7 points in 11 games. His shot percentage right now is outstanding. Is at 21%, just about. Yeah, I wonder why he didn't get called up to get a shot on the fourth line. Good call, Vincent. Do we still have Tyler Mott? Hey, Bill, how you doing, bud? Let's see. Do we still have Mott? So right now, yeah. Well, I don't know if he got traded or what. No, he's on the roster, but he say he's only played 4 games. So I don't know. Let me look. I don't know if he got injured or what. But he hasn't played since October 17th. So I don't know if he got hurt or what. Right now, leading the team in points is Ben Steves, then Skog with 14, Vilmanis with 13, Devine and Sachin with 12, Benning with 9, which, like, are we ever giving that kid a chance? Like, I'm content now, but maybe like a swap with Sabrango and Benning, but Sabrango probably needs to clear waivers. So when Chucky comes back, it wouldn't be a surprise to see Sabrango be sent down, and who knows if we lose him or not. But Benning has 9 points. Reese Gaber, Chorski's got 7, Foot, Pino, Carrick 7, Studnicka 6, McAllister 6, Ulsher with 5, Bornfoot with 5, Colton Heward has 3 assists, Kai Schwint with 3 points, Jansen with 3, Livingston Horvolka has been playing. He's got 3 assists. Tyler Mott's only played 4 games with 1 goal. We still have Mackenzie Entwistle on the team if we get real desperate for depth. And here's a name I don't even know if anybody knew we had. You guys know we've got Luis Domingue. You guys know we got the Checkers have Luis Domingue. Is that who I'm thinking of? Let me come back to the chat. So it says Greer's my new favorite player. He's like almost the new Nick Cousins a little bit. Vincent says Zito lost the opportunity to trade St. Martin High. You can't fool anybody now. Yeah. Benning is the new Carlson. Yeah, I mean, he can't, excuse me. I'm sorry. He can't catch a break. Yeah, Pulviarvi. Where is Fabry? Hold on a second. I didn't see him. He signed a PTO with the Checkers. I see. So he must not have played. So he signed a PTO with the Checkers. That's as far as they've gotten. I don't know if he's even played. Not yet, anyway, according to the stats, I don't think. Is that the Luis Domingue that I'm thinking? We've heard that name before, right? Yeah. So he's what? He's a big dude. Yeah, the old Coyote. Gosh, I knew that name. He's been around for forever. He played with Arizona. He played with Tampa a couple years, New Jersey, Vancouver, Calgary. God dang. This poor dude. Arizona, Tampa, New Jersey, Vancouver, Calgary, Pittsburgh, and the Rangers. 7 teams. And now he's playing for the Checkers. I don't even remember that signing. Does anybody remember that happening? What happened to Will Lockwood? That's a good question. I think he might have got, I know he had some concussion issues with us. I wonder if he's played any. They still have him on the Panthers roster. He hasn't played in the NHL in 2 years. He played for the Checkers last year. Wonder where he is now. So for the Checkers last year in 52 games, he had 10 goals and 11 assists. But I guess we must have let him go. Huh. I'm not sure about that. I'm not. They don't have any AHL stats for him for this year with anybody, and they still have him on the NHL site. He still is technically with the Panthers, so I don't know if he's just a free agent or just went off into the woods somewhere. Yeah, Polviari went back to Europe, right? I think with St. Martin, I think you're just looking at size. No, it's not that. Well, 6'1", 174. I think he's only 20. He needs a haircut. That's for sure. He definitely needs a haircut. So he's played 10. He wasn't on that list because he's got no points. He's played 10 games for the Checkers this year and gotten no points. Now, that's his only AHL. The other 4 years he played in the WHL, the Medicine Hat Tigers, and he had a couple of decent seasons there. And then this is his first year at the AHL level, and in 10 games he's got no points. So that's and now, yeah, like Vincent is saying, if you were going to trade him off of that 39 goal year in 24-25 in the WHL. And in the Memorial Cup, in the WHL, he had a goal in 4 games. That's when, but now he's got no points in 10 games. But he's still young. He's only 20, so you just never know what's going to happen. Oh, I mean, the farm team's pretty decent, Simon. We've got a really good AHL team. I don't know how many of our guys are actually going to be high quality NHL guys. Like, there's nobody on the Panthers roster that screams anything but at most third line. You know what I mean? In terms of forwards, I mean, Sashin, you know, size is an issue with him right now. 5'11", $155. Anybody that I outweigh by 15 points is going to have a hard time in the NHL. Like, that's skinny. That's like goalie skinny. So Sasha needs to put on. So how old is he? He was born in 2005. So again, he's 20 years old. But there's nobody on the Checkers that screams top 6. That's for sure. Yeah, complementary pieces. Exactly, Craig, right? But that's what happens when you don't have high draft picks, you know? Vincent says St. Martin not going to play in the NHL. Fundamentals are terrible. No idea how he racked those numbers. Yeah, you might be right. Trent says we need some defense. Well, we've got Horvolka. I'm still high on Horvolka, not because I've seen him play, but just because I want to see him play. The dude is like 8 feet tall. Where is he? Where's Horvolka? This is the guy I'd love to see us be able to develop. Where the hell is he? Come on, Jaws. There he is. Mikolas Horvolka. He's 24. He's getting up there in age a little bit. 6'6", 229. Come on, kid. When are you know, again, kind of like Benning, but of course Benning is small-ish anyway. Horvolka right now has got 3 points in 11 games, but obviously he's a defenseman, so we don't have advanced stats here. But, you know, we keep picking up guys off of waivers, right? We keep picking guys off of waivers. Cooper Black, we looked at this yesterday. I think he's at about 278. Let me see. Yeah, Cooper Black. No, that's not. Let me look at the goalie stats. 265 and an 899. He started 13 games. He's 9-3-1, so he's winning games. He's got 294 saves on 327 shots. So he's facing 27 shots a game-ish. So he's got serviceable numbers. Save percentage is a tough one. He's allowing about 2.5 goals. He's doing okay. He's not like tearing it up where you're like, oh my God, he's the goalie of the future just yet. Hey, Simon. Yeah, I mean, congratulations to them. I don't watch any soccer. You know what I mean? Definitely. I played soccer when I was a kid. And Alsher. Yeah. I know that's one name that other people have mentioned. What happened here? Oh, boy, the AHL sites or something else. Don't hit the back button. Where's Alsher? Yeah, he's played well. 14 games. I mean, for a defenseman, he's got 5 points in 14 games. He's 21, so he's got some time. He's 6'3", $196. So that's another player that could develop. Unfortunately, he's a lefty. It'd be nice if he was a right-handed shot. But he's looks like he's upped his game since last year. Last year, he only had 10 points the whole season. This year, he's got 5 so far. And again, I know he's a defenseman, so it doesn't matter. But we do have a couple of again, I mean, that's really the hardest thing is that your autocorrect tried to change. Mike says another title for the best state. There you go. There you go. Oh, Jerzmanov. Yeah. I don't know how much he's played. Let's see. Jerzmanov has got a 244 and an 895. So kind of almost exactly what Cooper Black has. 5 starts, 11 goals on 94 saves. So his numbers are almost exactly what Cooper Black's are. So that kind of tells you got a consistent situation there with the team. You know what I mean? Because that's really almost duplicate. So again, doing good. Nothing. There's nobody at the AHL level that screams, hey, this is a guy that can really make a difference right now. Just don't have it. And that's okay. Because that's what I was getting ready to say is that, when you're busy winning cups, you're kind of how we're treading water in the standings right now. We're kind of treading water at the AHL level. Like somebody just mentioned up here about Sordiff. Trent says if Sordiff was on our team, he'd be on the third line. With all these injuries, sure. I completely agree with you. I mean, that's what we put him last year for the couple of games we brought him up. But right now, with all the injuries, there's opportunity. But we got to continue to get points. So, all right, everybody, I got to roll. Yeah, that guy was boosting. yeah, exactly, Craig. I should have something coming out here a little bit later on this afternoon. I got to work on finalizing the thing for the sponsor. Then I'm trying to get out another video to you guys about 5-6 o'clock this afternoon. If I don't drop dead, I don't know what this cough is all about. Maybe I'll just cough my way through the new video. That should make for good content. All right. Thank you for hanging. Oh, here we go. Silva's got a trade. Panthers traded a package including Cooper Black, Devine, Carter, Rahagi, Aaron Ekblad, Devonov, Sarango, and a conditional first-round pick in exchange for Quinn Hughes. Blah! No, we're good. We're good. We'll live. We'll live without that pick, without that trade. Oh my God. Not for Hagee. Jeez, what did we just spend? We just sent like $15-17 million worth of cap space. All right, everybody. Appreciate y'all. Go enjoy the rest of your day. And if I don't see you later this afternoon or evening, I shall see you mañana.